Hello, hello, hello. I'm going to do my own reading. Get a handle on the cards. All right. Okay, higher self. Me down here right now. What's under the surface? No, this one. One of these two. Both. Okay, a couple of things hiding. Masculine. Feminine. Okay, are those coming out or are those staying in? They're coming out. Two. Interesting. A message from the higher self. Oh man, we got so many coming out. Oh my goodness, what is this? What's going to help us get through this underlying thing? Recent past. Near future. I said near future, thank you very much. Not 17 futures. Okay. Wow. Well, there's a lot to look at here, so we're just going to get straight into it. Higher self. Wow, Queen of Wands. Witch of the Tarot. Manifestation power. Magical. Connected to nature and her animal familiars. Down here right now. Aww. We're giving from a full cup. Making new friends. Having emotional exchanges with others. Okay, masculine is the Fool. And feminine, the Three of Cups, which is like celebrating ourselves. You know, celebrating ourselves, our higher self. But also, is this the Six of Wands reversed? Celebrating ourselves in the Six of Wands reversed. That's going to need some clarification, huh? For me, at least. Because the last Six of Wands that we had, the last feminine energy was the Six of Swords, right? That was going off on that journey. Now we've got this one, and, you know, it's like, okay, with the Six of Wands, we went off with the Six of Swords, and now we're returning the Six of Wands. Things feel like they're upside down, right? Because we're coming back different. But we still got the laurel, the grass crown. We have had a success over here in this transformation of the feminine energy, and that's why we're celebrating ourselves. It's all the women on the card celebrating that feminine. You're returning from your journey with that passion in hand. You know, that fire burning passion in hand. Okay, what's underneath the surface right now? Whoa, the Queen of Pentacles and the Two of Cups reversed. Okay, so the Queen of Pentacles is underneath the surface right now. I'd say that, like, the reason that this Queen of Pentacles isn't somewhere down here, somewhere else in the chart, why it's under the surface right now, has to do something with this Two of Cups being reversed. There's some type of emotional imbalance that's going on. And even though we've got all this manifestation power up here, this little bit of imbalance that's going on right here is making it to where the manifesting outcomes are still under their surface. They're not fully realized. They haven't fully made their way in. So yeah, maybe we need to Go back to juggling some things, find a balance, that emotional balance in particular. And when our emotions are out of balance, our health is going to fall out of balance too. And what can help us with that? Oh my God. Well, what can help us with this Two of Cups being reversed is the Queen of Cups. All right. And she is reversed. So maybe we need to take all of those emotions that this queen inside of us has been built on, the emotional queen, the one who's in control of the cycles and the phases that come and go especially with the moon. Maybe the way that we have built that emotional support hasn't been working so far, and we need to turn that cup upside down, right? Pour that cup out so that we can fill it with the right things. Right? There's just so much in this section right here. Right? That outcome of, like I was saying just a second ago, the outcome of that manifestation practice. Well, okay, every single thought, word, and action in our lives is manifesting. It is manifestation. And so we always have that power to manifest, right? With the witch up here, we always have the power to take these thoughts and these ideas and these gifts and then turn them into something physical. But again, it's underneath the surface right now because we've got an imbalance of emotions. And what can help us through that is to take this Queen of Cups that we have right now that's upside down, and we need to flip her right side up, right? So these things that you might think it's self-care. You might think that you are doing things in order to help yourself, but really it's like, it's not like that. You almost need to look in the mirror, take another look in the mirror and see if what you're doing is actually filling this cup or not. See if the things that you are weighing, if either of them fill your cup. Maybe you need to go in a different direction entirely. I don't think so. I think that there's so much from what you've learned here that's important that you need to take into this new way of holding your emotions. But it's also like, look at the difference in the cups, right? We've got these little small, just regular chalices over here. And then over here, she's got this elaborate glass. So maybe also what you're balancing, you're not looking quite deeply enough at it, or okay, I was saying just yesterday, I think, about like emotions being on us, sadness being on you rather than like you being sad. And as we can see here, there's many more things on this chalice on the outside, right? And it's okay to let those things fall off. It's okay to let those, you don't have to define yourself by the feelings that you have. They don't make up who you are. The message from our higher self is the King of Wands reversed. Okay, our higher self is the Queen of Wands, and the message that they're sending us is the King of Wands reversed. Again, this one always, here lately, this has just been reminding me imposter syndrome. That's exactly what that one always calls out to me, the Five of Pentacles, imposter syndrome. You don't have to self-isolate. You don't have to feel like you don't belong. You absolutely belong. You are so powerful. So powerful. And whenever you convince yourself that you don't belong, you get turned upside down on that throne. You almost fall off of that throne that you should be so confidently and comfortably sitting on. I feel like I'm supposed to dive a bit into this, the masculine being the Fool now. Let's see, right? Because the last time that masculine, I think it was the Eight of Wands, I think he had all of his priorities in order finally, if I'm remembering correctly, right? And so now he's got all of his priorities and he's finally picking one so that he can set off on this journey. And it is scary. It is the unknown. But he's got his little spirit guide, just like your higher self has theirs. There to help you along the way. Okay, in our recent past, with the Seven of Pentacles reversed, maybe we didn't take the time to pause and recognize how far we had come. And that's why it's reversed. It's so important to see how far you've come. It's so important to pause and look at the work you've done. To sit on the plateau of the mountain, turn around and look at the view before you've made it to the top. You don't have to make it to the top before you turn around and look and enjoy the scenery. What else was in our recent past? Oh, and the Wheel of Fortune and a change. Right? We've gone through that change. And so now we're starting to see, oh, there's actually benefits that can come from taking that pause. The wheel's going to keep turning anyways, but it's like, you've got the outer wheel and the inner wheel, and sometimes different parts of it are they can be in pause. It's okay to pause and turn around. Turn things around. Turn things around. It's okay to do that. And to remember to just look back and take some... Don't forget the lessons that you've learned, but don't get lost in the past either. We're going to be on the wheel, but you don't have to get totally sucked into it unawares, right? You can still have that light, as over here in the future card, right? In the future, hermit mode, once again. Sometimes you have to spend more time alone in order to fully take this stuff in. And if you can't, if you can't get alone for long periods, excuse me, if you can't get alone for long periods of time, give yourself 5 to 10 minutes a day to just sit alone. And that wisdom is going to start coming. What you've got in the future is this hermit mode, but I don't know that it's going to be as I was just saying, like it might not be some grand expedition, some silent retreat, some spiritual journey. It might not be that. It might be understanding that, going back to self-care, that the hermit, moments of hermetism, is that a word? Moments of being the hermit is important for that inner wisdom, for us to actually be able to see that light and see what that light is illuminating around us. Eventually we'll be able to figure out that light comes from within and that we illuminate everything around us. I don't know that this needs to go much further than that. You're powerful. You've literally got the Queen of Wands as your higher self, reminding you that you have the power of the King of Wands too. That what stops you from being able to fully manifest this power, to be able to fully actualize, see the actualization of this power, is your own self-isolation. Is you keeping yourself down? Is you ignoring your own needs? I'm even seeing star mother energy right now, right? This is the star mother, and this is that child version of yourself who needs help, who needs you to stop thinking that neither of you belong somewhere safe. You have to take care of that child inside. It's not about just walking out in the cold. It's not about grin and bear it. It is not about suffering for the sake of suffering. If you are suffering because you believe that humans are here to suffer, but you are not learning anything from that, transmuting and transcending that suffering, alchemizing it and turning it into something else, then you are not using the full power that you have available to you. And to have literally 3 queens on the board right now is crazy, right? We've got 1, 2, 3 queens. We've got 1, 2, 3 queens down here in your feminine energy celebrating celebrating your return with your gifts. Interesting with the sirens right there. You are so in flow. So in flow. Again, queen, queen, queen. That feminine energy is celebrating, right? Celebrating you are finally feeling comfortable just going with the flow. Feeling the dance of life. Feeling that every single moment is a moment for celebration simply because you are here, alive, awake, and aware. And you're sharing that with others. You're sharing this growth. You're sharing what you've cultivated with others. And they're happy to receive it because it is a healthy, blossoming, energetic exchange that you have with people, that you have with yourself. Underneath the surface right now, getting our emotions back into balance so that our manifestations come through in the physical and the material world exactly as we want and need them to. And what's going to help us with that? Letting go of the things that don't serve us. Understanding that we are that Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. We are the queen of it all. We are the queen of the tarot. But you can't be the queen if you are holding things in your cup that aren't serving you. You can't be that fully embodied queen if you are letting emotions get stirred up in your cup that shouldn't even be there. Make sure you've picked up the right cup to move forward with. I love that the masculine is the Fool. Because the masculine is the Fool because he's finally being fully led by this feminine, because the feminine is in flow. The masculine is finally stepping aside and allowing that feminine to flow through so that he can be the one who takes the action without thinking and trying to control so much of what that action is. We didn't stop and smell the roses before. We didn't stop and admire the progress and take full appreciation of the fruits of our labor. We didn't do that. We've just been riding this wheel over and over and over again. Just riding this wheel until now we actually are aware that we're on the wheel. We're aware that we're on the wheel, and look at how powerful we are because of it. Now that we're aware that we're on the wheel and that we don't have as much control as we thought we did in the past, we realize that there's nothing we can do but flow. And it's going to be a period of contemplation that allows us to fully integrate that flow. So that this Fool can remain the Fool, like the perpetual Fool. So that he is the Fool at the beginning and the end of the arcana simultaneously. So that he is constantly in a state of ending and beginning. So that that feminine can endlessly flow through that masculine. With the sun, that higher self light, that divine light shining down on us and illuminating our way. Just 5 to 10 minutes might be all you need in order to see this light, in order to gain this wisdom, in order to take up this wand. God, and we've got this. You've got this. So powerful. Oh, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful everything.